Alrighty guys, as you keep bringing the Dragon Ball Legends TOP guide video. This is for season 109. So last season we ended off at rank 2664, which is really good, right? Like we're in the top 3k, rating that top cut. We're just doing a lot of good stuff there. Last season we did use Sagas from the movies. We used high boost and it just worked out perfectly for us. And so I think we're going to kind of continue the trend of using a little bit more extra boost. That way, just to guarantee we're getting that 1000 CC, right? Because we did have that one scary season where people were kind of like pushing it a little bit further away in terms of like the goalpost. And before we continue, always huge shout out to doomgeta, to Aflac, to Fuck, to GMC, all those guys in the Discord, which will be linked in the description down below alongside the unofficial Dragon Ball Legends Discord, right? I think there is an official one now, but they've nuked it to hell and back because people just don't know how to act. Anyways, those two links will be in the description down below, just in case you guys want some extra TOP help or you want to talk to someone that can be a little bit more interactive with you. And always remember, there will be timestamps in the description down below, that way you guys can go ahead and get to where you need to go. So first things first is going to be our pathing, right? So first half, second half on the screen right now. In the first half, there's only 2 difficult fights, and in the second half, there's only 2 difficult fights, which honestly, so doesn't seem that bad, right? Remember, this is color coded for you guys, so the first half you're not going to really worry about bringing in your high tiers, your Z tiers, and your S tiers. And then in the second half, once you get into that orange pathing all the way to the purple and red, that's when you're going to start bringing out your high tiers, right? And I do have the graphic on the screen to show you exactly just how much boost you're going to be getting in those particular fights. Next, we do have the color wheel right here. So this basically only covers the difficult fights that we have labeled, so you're only going to see 4 of these right here. But for reds, you only have, or well, not only, right? There's a lot of reds here. So 6 reds, 1 yellow, 2 purples, 5 greens, and 6 blues. So obviously reds, blues, and greens are going to be the majority of colors you're going to be fighting in those difficult fights. And then next we do have the cover change prediction wheel right here. So again, only just covering those 4 fights. So in total for strike cover changes specifically, there's 9 of them. No notifications. And then for blast, there's no cover changes for blast, but 1 blast notification. And then universal, 1 universal cover change right there, right? So blast teams are in just a way better position. Usually they always are. But especially more here now, right? Because it's a 9-to-1 ratio. So the first fight you are going to go up against right here is, well, I don't really know what to call this, but it's pretty easy, right? So there's double stuns right here. So the Beerus stuns on turn 2, the Wii stuns on turn 2. If you can kill them both in turn 1, that's fantastic. That's probably going to be ideal for you. And then just keep in mind that Piccolo, he's going to super attack you on turn 3 guaranteed. So you want to get him out of the way. Those are the big 3 of this fight. Next is the Saiyan Saga. Pretty much most of the units here are fodder, but again, that Namek, or not Namek Saga, the Saiyan Saga Piccolo, he is going to super attack you on turn 3. So next we have this fight. So this fight is, it's a sneaky fight, to be honest with you. So high priorities here is going to be the tag droids, of course, and then the Legends Road Trunks. That Legends Road Trunks will gain a super attack every single time a Gohan ally dies. And there's 3 Gohan units here. Right, so you have to take him out before you kill any of the Gohans. So next we have this fight right here. This one's honestly not bad either. So high priority is definitely that Goku and Vegeta unit. Don't let him fuse on turn 3. And then after that, the green base Broly. He's going to debuff a random selected character on your team. And then the Legends Limited Broly. He has good damage. He's able to heal himself and get more damage when he's attacked. And I'm pretty sure the green Broly and the blue Broly have strike covers. I'm not exactly sure for who. And another thing that kind of just makes the fight a little bit annoying is that red Frieza stuns a random unit on turn 1, so you can't really bypass that unless you have a unit that's just straight up canceling that effect. Next you have this fight right here, and again, by no means is this a hard fight, right? High priority here is going to be the green Videl, very recent unit, and then the blue Fasha. Blue Fasha, she will stun you with her blast card, right? So she hits her blast arts on you, and then she stuns that unit. So obviously the easiest way to get around that, just kill her before she gets a chance to attack, right? So next is this Super Saiyan 2 fight. Again, high priorities, pretty easy fight. The tag unit, right? Tag units, and then the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, because he's getting stronger as his allies fall apart and die. Kefla can be high priority if you have a bunch of Saiyans, since she does have buffs against Saiyan. And Majin Vegeta is going to explode on you once he gets to a certain HP threshold. I want to say it's 15%. So usually he's saved for last. So That's just how that goes. So alternatively, you do have this fight for more points since it's a 5-fist difficulty. High priority here is going to be that green DKP since he's debuffing you. The purple kid Goku, high damage dealer, has a strike cover. And then the Aider, he's getting buffs on turn 2, but he does have death buffs for his allies. Thankfully, after those 3 are gone, the rest of the units aren't scary. So even if he does death buff those, it's whatever. He also has a strike cover typically. So next you have your first hard boss, or not a boss fight, but your hard fight, right? One of our labeled warning fights. So again, another fight we come across all the freaking time. So I like to go for the Sweater Trunks first because he has a universal cover for someone usually. Then the Sword of Hope Trunks because he has a strike cover, right, for someone usually. And then the Trunks Vegeta tag unit. They don't have a cover change. That's why they're usually like third on my list. But that's the top 3 or the big 3, right? Another unit to just keep in mind here is that EX Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, he's debuffing your middle row's blast damage received. And then for the actual boss fight, you have this right here. This one's... We've done this before. I know it looks a little scary, right? Ultra Rose is going to blue card you on turn 1. And then he stuns that unit and debuffs that character. I mean, so if you have the key restore speed to get him out of the way before he does that, kudos to you. Most of you guys aren't. Another high priority here is going to be the blue Goku Black since he has like damage support. And then a mid priority unit that I want to just touch on lightly is the corrupted Zamasu. So he basically, when you kill him, he's going to inflict you with a ton of debuffs. So I do want you guys to be aware of that. He's also getting a lot of special move gauge every single turn. So you also have to be careful if you do end up taking him out last. That's why it's recommended taking him in the 3rd or 4th slot. And then last unit you're going to take out here is going to be the blue Zamasu. Right, so he's debuffing you when you hit him, and then by default, he's debuffing your bottom row, which we have highlighted right here. So next we have this fight right here. This one's not bad at all, right? I'm not worried about this fight whatsoever. Just kill Pan and the Beast Gohan. Those are going to be your top 2 priorities right there, and then you'll be good to go. This next one is a little bit annoying, though. This is the Broly second coming fight, right? So high priority here is going to be that red Broly. He's going to stun you on turn 2, and then he's like transforms on turn 3, gets the chance to double, or I think he gets a guaranteed double attack. I can't remember. But either way, don't let him do that, right? Don't let him transform. Don't let him get the stun off on you. So him, Videl, high priority right there. Mid priority is probably like Goten, the purple Goten. And then the last 3 units, that's where it gets tricky. So the yellow Goku, he has death buffs, right? I would still put him like in the 4th slot though. And then for your 5th and 6th slot, I guess it could be interchangeable 6th slot, is going to be the blue Gohan and the purple Broly. So the purple Broly, he has a barrier mechanic, and then after he activates it, he debuffs you. And then the Gohan, he's getting like a lot of his kit once he gets below 50% HP. He also has a non-health gated cover change, so that's something to keep in mind. All right, so next you do have this event exclusive fight. This is definitely one of the easier event exclusive fights though, right? So high priority is 18, giving you like blast damage received debuffs. Super Boo is going to stun you on turn 3. And then Goku Black is another debuffer here, so boom, big 3 right there. And then the last unit people typically go for is that purple Tapion. He debuffs you once he gets hit, but he also has a non-health gated blast cover change. So strike teams, if you want to go for him last, that's perfectly fine, right? Blast teams, you might get debuffed by him regardless, right? Because he might just come in with that unhealth gated blast cover change. So I don't think you need to go for him last, but in an ideal world, you go for him last. Next, we got LOE, or specifically Frieza Force right here, right? So the main unit I want to talk about is definitely that yellow full power Frieza, because he has a blast nullification. Once he does, you hit him with a blast, he nullifies it, doesn't take any damage from it, does his little green card animation, and then he builds 100% to his special move gauge, right? So meaning he's going to super attack you in that turn. What people do to counteract this with blast teams is they just go for him first. He has kind of a low key restore speed, so the first unit procs that green card from him, and then the rest of your units just pummel him until he's dead. And then that's how you get around it without getting hit with that super attack. If you're a strike team, you don't really he's like a mid priority at best. All right, so next we do have our 3rd labeled hard fight. So this one, we're going to go more in depth like on the actual walkthrough for this. In terms of high priority, there's a lot here. So obviously that purple cell, he's debuffing you. You want to get him out of the way. That Super 17, if you have a yellow unit in, he has a chance to double attack that yellow unit. That Super 17 has a lot of damage behind him. You have to be really careful about him. The 16, he's getting like a bunch of damage inflicted once he gets below 70% HP. I'm pretty sure he also has a strike cover for someone. And then Android, the 8er also has, like, he has death buffs and a strike cover. Magenta has debuffs, and I believe he also has a freaking strike cover. Yeah, so this team looks actually really bad for strike teams. So those 5 units I would definitely highlight right here. Like, you probably see the red circle surrounding those 5 units. Yellow Cell, I don't think he's that great. So before we get into our top teams for this season, I'm going to be putting up this image on the screen for you guys. That's essentially the guide / key to all the icons that you're going to be seeing in the graphics, right? So if you have any questions about any of those icons, like the star color, the arrows, red arrow, blue arrow, just refer back to this if you're a little bit confused on that. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is the team we're going to be using, which is Universe Reps. This is going to be an extremely easy team. This is one of the most handheld teams that you can run in ToP, right? And we do have a little bit of extra boost on board than the graphic that we have shown right here, right? So just a compare and contrast. On the graphic side of things, you have the Z tier Dispo and the S tier Topo. And for us, we have the Z tier Dispo, the S tier Topo, and the S tier green Kaba instead of the green Topo, right? So we're down a stun, but we're up some boost. And plus that Kaba still has debuffs and stuff for us too. For core unit, you have that green free-to-play Frieza. Some of you guys have voiced, I've seen a couple comments saying you guys don't like putting him on your roster just because he's faster than your yellow golden Frieza. And I get that. That's a valid complaint. I think the first time I used him, I also had that complaint, but he's just really good. He's really valuable. I think he's still worth to have on the team. But you also have the support from the MVP 17. You have the Kaba support / heals. You have the golden Frieza on the golden tile. Remember, upgrade that special move into the ultimate to get those extra debuffs. And then you have the stun from the purple Jiren. Next, we do have Unireps, the strike-based version. So core unit obviously is going to be that Bergamo. That's your HPZ ability buffer. For your boost unit, you have the Z tier Super Saiyan Caulifla. And then you have the S tier Blue Champa. So you're just getting that 30% boost right there. As for the main roster, you have the guaranteed super attack on turn 2 with the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku. Bergamo himself has the barrier mechanic. And then you have some new units on here, right? So you have the Kaba, who's also offering some heals. You have the purple Jiren offering some heals. And you have the blue 18 that recently got a Zenkai also offering some heals, only when she kills an enemy though. So she's very, very pseudo healer, right? Very niche healer at that. And then you also have the tag unit, Kale and Caulifla. So next, we do have GT. This is the strike-based GT right here. So core unit, Super Baby 2, never going anywhere. Never, ever, ever, ever. Boost, you have the S tier Yellow 17. And then you have the Z tier Majub. Honestly, I think it's kind of rare for that Majub to be Z tier. You actually have a couple Z tier options here as well. So also pretty rare, right? GT usually gets delegated to specific units every single season. For the main team, you do have the tag unit, Super Saiyan 4, Goku and Vegeta. You have the Ultra unit, Gogeta 4. You have the Super Baby 2. If you don't have Super Baby 2, the yellow LF, Pan is going to be your next best option. But if you do have them at, just at 7 stars, I definitely do advise bringing in that Super Baby 2. And then you have the S tier Kid Goku. He's getting 50% to his special move gauge every other fight, which is nice. And then you also have the tag unit Celza. Next, we do have the blast-based version. So again, Super Baby 2 still your core unit. That's your main healer. Z tier Trunks, right? And then Z tier Sin Shinron. So both pretty good EXs to have on your team right there, right? As for the main team, you have debuffs from the Super 17. You have debuffs from not the Super 17, I'm sorry, the Hellfighter 17. Really good debuffs at that too. And then the free-to-play Omega? No, that's also Ascension on, right? He also has debuffs. Parasite Trunks is really strong against Saiyans / hybrid Saiyans, able to build up that super attack pretty quickly. And then the Super 17, that is your bread and butter damage essentially. He has a chance to double attack a yellow unit and you want to be attacking those yellow units with him, right? He's just a really strong unit overall. So next we have Regeneration. So another team where Baby is just completely dominant on it in terms of just always being locked in, right? So that is going to be your core unit for your boost. You have the S tier Kid Buu, right? S tier Kid Buu free to play. We used to use that guy, actually. I think we used him for like 2 seasons straight. He has really strong debuffs. He's really nice to have him play. For him to be a boost unit, I think it's pretty good. And then for your Z tier, you have that purple nail. He's all right. He's pretty much just there for boost, right? He's not really offering too much. But for the main team, you do have the Purple Legends Limited Cell offering debuffs. You have the Zenkai Piccolo, guaranteed super attack turn 3. Zenkai Bootanks, guaranteed super attack turn 1. You have the Android 21, who has a stun and a potential cover rescue. I don't think you guys are going to really need the cover rescue on this team, to be honest with you. And then you have the Ultra Cell. The Ultra Cell is phenomenal, bro. Like, at this point, I favor him over the Corrupted Zamasu. I have Corrupted Zamasu at 14 stars. I have that cell at 5 stars. And at this point, I used to rate the Corrupted Zamasu above him, but I kind of like the cell more. And so let's go to talk about those androids right here, right? So this is the strike-based androids team. This one's just kind of a work in progress, right? There's gonna probably be some units on here that you're like, what? Why the hell is that unit here? Or why the hell isn't that unit here? In terms of replacements and stuff like that, right? Because I think this is the first time we've actually introduced a strike-based androids team. But core unit is going to be the Purple 21. That's your HPZ ability buffer. And then, oh, she's also Zenkai buffing, right? She's Zenkai buffing the other purple cell right there. And then for your boost, you actually have a good chunk of boost right here. So Z tier free-to-play Android 13, Z tier Red 17, the EX, and then you have the S tier Android 16 Green, a little bit more recent unit, right? I'm pretty sure he came out like on the IT Goku banner, somewhere along that campaign, right? And then for the main team, you do have the Legends Limited Cell, the purple one, who's really, really good. We've actually used him on the blast-based regeneration team a couple times, and he's great there, and he's going to be even better here, I think. And then you have the blue 18 offering those pseudo heals upon getting a kill. You have the Zenkai Yellow Cell. We forced him on a blast team before too, and he still did well. So again, he's going to be better here. He prefers to be on strike. And then you have the Ultra Cell. With Ultra Cell, his Ultra ability is way more favored for Android, right? It's specifically for Android. That's why whenever you see me use this guy in regeneration, I'm like, okay, like what other cells can I throw on here to kind of fulfill this a little bit? And then we have the blast-based version, right? So Ultra Cell is still going to remain right here. No core unit. Closest thing to a core unit is going to be that yellow Zenkai Cell. That's your HPZ ability buffer plus a healer. For your boost units, you have the Z tier free-to-play 13 and then the S tier 18, who's going to act as a debuffer. Legends Limited Purple Cell acting as a debuffer. Gammas 1 and 2 tag unit. You have MVP support, and then you have the green 21 for stun, cover rescue, that good stuff. She just has the Zenkai inflated stats too. Next, we got hybrid Saiyans, or not hybrid Saiyans. This is the Taunthan team / Sun family, right? So core unit is obviously going to be Taunthan. The team wouldn't be Taunthan without Taunthan. And then for your, and also too, I feel like it's been a while since I said this. So the reason why he's the core member here is on turn 1, he has the taunt mechanic. It makes the enemy focus on him for 1 turn, right? So the entirety of turn 1 is going to focus on him taking damage. As for your boost units, you have a good chunk of boost here as well. So you have the Z tier blue Gohan from the Broly Second Coming. You have the S tier Goten, who has a guaranteed super attack on turn 2, and then you have the S tier GT Kid Goku, who's getting a super attack every other fight because he's getting 50% a fight. For the rest of the team, Godku, bread and butter unit, that's probably the best unit you can have on this team, even over the Ultra Beast Gohan, just because that Godku is getting a guaranteed turn 1 super attack, and you can turn that into the ultimate arts too, right? And then you have Goten for support / heals. You have the tag unit, and then obviously Ultra Beast Gohan is probably the second best unit on this team. Now we can go into the hybrids, right? So this is the blast-based hybrids. Ultra Beast is still here. Core unit is going to be Pan HPZ ability buffer. For your boost, you have a good chunk of boost here, 40% with double Z tiers. So you have the Z tier Green Trunks and the Z tier Purple Gohan right there, right? You actually have a decent options for replacements for those boost units as well. For the main team, you have the blue Gohan. That blue free-to-play Gohan is favored on the blast team over the blue Beast Gohan. I'm not saying you can't run the blue Beast Gohan here, just for whatever reason you don't have that free-to-play Gohan. I don't know why you wouldn't have that free Gohan, especially with the event going on right now. But he's more catered toward the blast team, right? He's going to have that Blast Z ability, which is something you want. You had the purple Gohan here. You have the tag units, Gohan and Trunks. And then you have the Revival Gohan. He is a solid unit. Someone better than the Revival Gohan is 100% the Ultra Gohan. Even if you have the Ultra Gohan like at 5 stars, I think he's a better unit here. So So next we have the strike-based hybrids, right? So HPZ ability buffer is going to be Pan, making her the core unit. And then for your boost units, you have the Z tier purple Trunks. He actually has damage inflicted for your hybrid allies, which is nice. And then you have the second coming blue Gohan. As for the main team, you have the fat Gotenk support. You have the double beast Gohan plays right here with the blue and the yellow. They're really, really strong. You have the tag units, Gohan and Krillin. I actually have never used them in ToP, but I hear they're good. And then you have the Trunks. That Zenkai Trunks is really, really strong. What makes that Trunks so nice too, it just pairs well for the team, right, is because he has buffs against Frieza Force or tag powerful opponent. And if you do come across that powerful opponent / Frieza Force, you're just getting straight up 50% to your special move gauge, and you upgrade it as well. So next we do have powerful opponent. So core unit here is going to be that skinny Broly, that yellow one. He's your HPZ ability buffer. And then you do have some good options for your boost units here as well. You have your Z tier free to play 13. You have the S tier green Frieza, who's acting as a healer as well. And then you have the blue Goku Black, who's providing support for the team. For the rest of the team, you have obviously Ultra Rose. He's getting that turn 1 blue card, which is great. You can upgrade it as well. And then you go into CMZ, he's getting his blue card, or he's getting it really quickly, right? He's basically getting it every turn because he's getting 20% on hit with his blast arts, which is very, very nice. You have the purple Rose here just for some... He's just a damage dealer, right? Like, he's just a beat stick. And then you have the purple Cell, another really strong damage dealer. Next, we have girls. I don't really have a lot to say about this team, to be honest with you guys. Like, if you're running this team, you need to know the ins and the outs of this team, right? You need to know your key restore speed. You need to know your attack order, like, down to a T. I'm not saying you have to play this team like a perfectionist, but I'm also kind of saying you had to play this team like a perfectionist. I've never used this team, so I don't want you guys to run in there with this team and be like, oh, this has a lot of boost. Let me go ahead and just use this team. I don't want you guys to do that. Units that I do know here is that Kale is going to have the heals for you. This blue Bulma is farming up her special move gauge. She's also providing support for the team right in those specific boxes right there, and she's canceling all enemies' buff effects, which is pretty good. This Mai has damage inflicted support for girls. She has debuffs to health restoration. And this Kale and Caulifla, or well, the assist unit, used to be featured on the Saiyan's team from time to time, right? They get 30% to special move gauge on the start of the first turn, so you're going to see them get their super attack pretty often. But ultimately, you should really know the ins and outs. But ultimately, it's up to you to get like a really good handling of this team. So next, we have event exclusive. So you have 2 core units here. You have Pui Pui, HPZ ability buffer, and then you have this Golden Frieza, the free-to-play one. So his whole shtick, his deal is at turn 3, he's inflicting like a gajillion debuffs onto the enemy team, and he's also healing your entire team, right? Your entire board, he's healing by 2% on turn 3. So he's a pretty big deal. For your boost units, you have 3 S tiers here. So you have that 18, who's a debuffer as well. You have the Majin Buu, who's a turn 2 stunner. I want to say a turn 2 stunner. Or he's not a turn 2 stunner. He's a turn 3 stunner. And then you also have the yellow Monray over there. For the rest of the team, you have the support from the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. You have the blue Cooler, who's actually buffing up your key restore speed, which is nice, making you guys a little bit faster. And then you have the blue base Broly, who's inflicting blast-based damage debuffs to the enemy team. So next we have Saiyans. This is the blast-based Saiyans. There's no core units right here. So for your boost units, you have the Z tier Saiyan in red, S tier Zenkai Vegeta. He's debuffing, right? And then the main team is just freaking stacked, dude. Like, you have 3 tag units. You have Kaba, who's also a healer, and he's just a great recent unit, right? And then you have 2 revival units that are just... we use that Pycon, right? Pycon has a bunch of debuffs and stuff like that, and we have him like 6 stars, bro. And he just refused to die, bro. Like, I almost want to use this team because I have like a 3-star Nappa or like a 4-star Nappa, and I want to use both of them, see if I can get either of them to pop the revival. I don't know. But this is a team that's definitely on my radar that I kind of want to use. Then we have the strike-based version. So again, no core units here. For your boost units, you have the Z tier base Broly, and then you have the S tier Kid Goku, the GT one, who's getting 50% every fight. So effectively making him a super attacker on every other fight, right? For the main team, Daima Goku, the Kid one, is really, really strong, has really good support, is in buffing your key restore speed, right? So making your team faster. God Goku, definitely the best unit on this team. Turn 1 super attacker, able to go ahead and just, you can upgrade it to the ultimate arts as well. You have your number 1 Vegeta, is a healer for the team. You have the Go Frieza tag unit. You have the watered down Blue Beast Gohan of Saiyans, which is going to be the Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And then we have a new unit on here as your designated red, is that Saiyan Saga Goku. And interestingly enough, that Saiyan Saga Goku has a buff against Saiyans, and that's a tag you see a lot season to season. He has key recovery buffs, he has special move gauge charge, and he also has debuffs for the enemy team. And after he receives an attack, he's healing himself, he's giving key recovery buffs to his allies, and 5% to the special move gauge charge rate as well. Unfortunately, he doesn't give it to himself though. That's the only thing that sucks. So next we do have Frieza Force. So you only have 1 core unit here, which is going to be that Blue Frieza, who just got a Zenkai. We'll talk about the Zenkai a little bit later too. And then for your boost units, you have 40% here with 4 S tier units, right? So you have the purple Apul, you have the red Raspberry, and you have the yellow Monray. And surprisingly, this is someone that we usually don't even include on the graphic. So this is just a special seasonal kind of thing, is we have that green free-to-play Frieza on the team instead of someone like the free-to-play golden Frieza, right? Because that guy's primarily seen on strike teams right there, even though I know he's a healer and stuff like that, but he's in S tier. So take advantage of him being in S tier, essentially, is what we're saying. On the main team, you do have the Golden Frieza. Make sure he's always on the Golden tile to upgrade your special move arts into the ultimate arts, getting those extra damage extra damage inflicted, and then plus you're getting those debuffs, right? And then you have the Purple Legends Limited Frieza for the turn 1 stun, and then you have the tag unit Jason Birder. I don't have those guys, and so if I'm using this team, and I don't have that Jason Birder, I'm putting in the red Frieza from the Broly movie, the one that stuns, so I can have a double stunner. So next we do have, this is the final team actually, it's Sagas from the movies, right? So core unit is going to be Pan HPZ ability buffer. For your boost, you actually have some strong boosts right here. So 2 free-to-play units. I think this is going to be a very valuable team for a lot of you guys. This was actually if I wasn't running Universe Reps, it would have been this team. So you have your Z-tier Tapion and you have your Z-tier free-to-play 13, right? As for the main team, you have Garlic Jr. on here, who's going to get that double attack once he transforms. He's also preventing the 4 units from being stunned right here, right? The block above him, left, right, and below. You have the yellow Tapion on here for debuffs, plus he's pocketing 1 specific unit below him. You have the tag unit, you have the Beast Gohan, and then your best unit on here is going to be that God Goku turn 1 super attack. Next, you have the Blast Base version with Master Roshi as your core unit, since he's the HPZ ability buffer. You have 3 S tier boosts here. So you have the S tier Cooler Zenkai, you have the S tier Bardock, who got demoted from Z tier, right? And then you have the S tier Amoned. For the rest of the team, you have Pycon. The debuffs are crazy with him. That dude's like basically immortal, bro. At least for me. Because I was just trying to pop his revival last season very, very badly. You have the red Frieza for the turn 1 stun. You have the blue free-to-play Gohan, buffs against powerful opponents. And he's just a really good unit overall. And then you have the support from the Red Ribbon Army Piccolo up there as well. So for the final segment, let's talk about these new characters right here. So I haven't included them in the graphic. I'm a little bit behind, as you guys can tell by the date of this video going out. So let's go ahead and see what these guys are looking like, because I haven't even read their PvP kit. This is my first time looking at them, period. So stats on this guy, 2,423 for the key restore speed. He's pretty fast, right? At friendship rank 1. He has the blue card and the ultimate ability. And so the first ability, 100% to damage inflicted, 15% to cuts, and plus 50 to key recovery, plus 50 base. It's kind of weird. On strike or blast arts attack, he gets 10% to damage inflicted, 10% to special move gauge. After receiving an attack, 20% to damage inflicted, 10% to special move inflicted, and 10% to ultimate inflicted, plus 5% to special move gauge. So you want him to get hit, essentially. Before receiving a blast arts, health gated by 50% blast cover change, that's not bad, right? Units do go below 50%, you see it often. It's just when they have like 30% health gate is when it gets a little annoying. If your own health is 50% or below, you restore your health by 3% and get 10% to damage cut, and you cancel your downgrades. At the start of the 3rd turn, you pop your green card, you get 20% to damage inflicted by allies in range, which is going to be this right here. And then you upgrade your own special move arts, restore ally health by 2%. I'm assuming that's in range, or is that all? I'm not sure. It just says multi-target right there. But inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade minus 15% to damage inflicted. And then your Ultra ability, 10% to health restoration. Started the battle per tag Saiyan, 5% to damage inflicted, 5% to ki recovery, and 5% to special move gauge at the start of turn. I honestly don't think he's broken. Like, it's not a bad kit at all, but it's not broken. I expected broken, right? Like Ultra Cell, I think his kit is broken. But let's go ahead and look at Frieza, right? So the inverse, some maximum stats right here. And these guys haven't been included on the graphic. I think I said it with the Goku as well. But this guy has crazy ki restore speed, 2,522 at friendship rank 1. Blue card and the ultimate ability. First ability, 100% to damage inflicted, 15 cut, 50% to ki recovery. Why do they do this, bro? I feel like it has to be an error or something, right? Goku got 50. He got just plus 50. This dude got 50%. On strike or blast arts, 15% to damage inflicted, 10% to special move gauge. On special move or ultimate arts, restore own health by 3%, 30% to damage inflicted for 2 turns, 20% to own ki more ki recovery, bro. He doesn't need it. And then he also inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade minus 15% to damage inflicted for 2 turns. Second ability, he has strike cover health gated at 30%. After receiving an attack, restores health by 2%, 5% to special move gauge. Again, you want him to get hit. End of turn, if your health is 50% or below, pop your green. And you can pop it twice. On special action activation, 50% to own special move gauge. You upgrade it, and you inflict debuffs. Wow, dude. So you're begging for him to be below 50%. He can pop that twice? What the hell? And then his ultra ability, so 5% to special move damage inflicted, 5% for allies, and then start of the battle per lineage of evil, 5% to damage inflicted, 5% to ki recovery, and inflicts extreme bleed for 1 turn on special move or ultimate arts. I think he's actually better than Goku. So next, let's look at this freaking Krillin, bro. ToP stats, maximum stats, 2,624 for the ki recovery is crazy. Blue card and the ultimate ability, by the way. 70% to damage inflicted, 15% to cut, 20% to ki recovery for 2 turns, 10% to special move gauge charge rate, and start of the first turn if there are 3 or more Frieza Saga or Gokus or Super Warriors. You get 20% to damage inflicted by allies, 15% to ally special move gauge charge rate, and you debuff by 15% to damage inflicted. He does have a blast cover that's health gated by 30%. At the 3rd turn, you pop your green card. You restore ally health by 3%. Wow, multi-target again. So does that just mean the full board? Because it's not saying in this range right here, right? It's just saying restores ally health by 3%. 10% to ally special move gauge. Inflicts, wait, to all allies? Bro, that's broken if it is. Dude, this guy might be insane. Inflict all enemies with the attribute downgrade plus 50% to damage received for 2 turns. And if he's defeat, I don't care about that stuff. But we'll read it anyways. So it gives damage inflicted, minus 20 to ki recovery for enemies, and then 20% debuff to damage inflicted for enemies. Alright, so for the last unit, let's go ahead and take a look at this guy, what he's doing for his kit and stuff like that, right? I don't think it's going to be a significant difference because he was already fantastic pre-Zenkai, right? So right off rip, what I think it's new here is that 5% to his own ki recovery for 1 turn. And then I think these just got increased a little bit, right? Like 50%, I think that used to be like 30%. And then the second ability just used to be this right here, if I remember correctly. It's just the restores health by 2% and 10% to damage inflicted and 20 to ki recovery. So this stuff is new right here, right? So on blast arts, he's getting 10% to blast damage inflicted, 5% to special move gauge, and on special move arts activation, he's canceling attribute downgrades, enemy upgrades, and inflicting minus 10% to ki recovery for all enemies. Damn, dude, like it's actually is nice. It's pretty nice. And he's a Zenkai buffer for the blue lineage of evil. All right, and that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for this guide video. Stay tuned for the walkthrough videos. Thank you guys so much for being patient. I know this is super late for you guys, and hopefully everyone secures that 1000 juicy CC by the end of the season. I know you guys need it, especially with the double ultra drop. So once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.